So I got a Tacoma in November, and I feel like I've had enough time now to really get to know the car a little bit more and give you guys a very honest review on what it's like to own a Tacoma, especially if you're looking to buy one in the future. So things that I'll be going over today is things that are good, things that are bad, and honestly, things that might be ugly about owning a Tacoma. So we'll go ahead and start with the ugly things about owning a Tacoma. And honestly, these first 2 points are gonna be things that I think that Tacoma gets hated on the most for. And the first one is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Do I think it's fair to hate on it for being a 4-cylinder and not a 6-cylinder? I have mixed feelings. First off, my initial thoughts, no, because it has so much good power straight from the factory. Now, most people, I think, have a different kind of correlation with a bigger engine. They think bigger engine equals more horsepower or more power. But because this is a 4-cylinder and it is turbocharged, it is making more power than the previous 3rd-gen Tacoma. So in that sense, I don't think it should be getting hated on. Now, the second point, I can see why people may be hating on it for being a 4-cylinder. It's because of the turbocharged part, and we don't know if it'll be very reliable long term. We don't know if it'll last 200K miles and be efficient still, right? And I think all previous Tacomas have lived up to that durability name, and I just hope that this one also does the same, but we have yet to know. So in that sense, I agree with everybody, because you want a car that's gonna be reliable, that you can own forever practically, and it won't break down on you. So we'll see how this one turns out. And I haven't experienced anything crazy. I think what I've experienced is what most people have experienced. And that is when you turn on the vehicle, right away, it'll say that it's quote unquote ready, because it's saying that the hybrid portion of it is ready. However, I still let it warm up. I let the engine warm up and get to a certain temp before I start driving. And even when doing that, I still get this really, really weird jolting feeling when I'm revving up or working my way up to 15 miles per hour. And it starts around like the 10 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour range. And it practically feels like, if you ever driven a stick shift car, like you're shifting from first gear to second gear, but not the smoothest. So you get a little jolt. And I don't know why that happens. And people have told me it's because the car's not warmed up. But that's not true, because it happens throughout the entirety of a ride, from what I've noticed. And I seen another video, and I'll link it. Somebody talks about that, and it was an early symptom from his car, and it ended up leading to a transmission failure. And after buying this car, maybe like a month or two after, I don't know the exact month range, but I did receive a letter in the mail. And it was regarding that this car might be a lemon. I don't know where it's being sourced from, so I'll do deeper research there in case it's a random thing, it's not a viable one. So I'll go ahead and do research and get back to everyone on that. Now, the second ugly thing, and this one to me is mad fair. The second ugly thing about owning a Tacoma is honestly the price. The price is insane. Yes, there's different levels. They have the whole base SR5s, and then you have the Sport, Off-Road, TRD Pro, and Trail Hunter. Of course, I would have loved the Trail Hunter. The TRD Pro, I know people hate on the new seats, but honestly, it kind of looks kind of cool. You'll probably lose every rear seat legroom though, but I don't know. Depends on your lifestyle. If you have kids or often carry passengers, it's a big deal for sure. But the new prices for the Tacomas are insane. So I got the iForce Max Off-Road Premium package, and it came out to like out the door $61,000. So it is a huge payment, and I typically do like sports cars, and I kept thinking, damn, I could have got a used car like this, or I could have got a new car like this, but do I regret it? No, but that's only because I do have a Honda S2000, and if you asked me which one is the funner one to drive on a day-to-day basis, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do think the Honda S2000 is so much more fun. But if I had to pick one car for the rest of my life, I would go with the Tacoma, because it's so much more convenient. I feel like there's so many different things you can do with it, and it's still really fun in its own way, especially when you put it in the right environment. So there's a lot of good things that I like about this new Tacoma. And one of my favorite things is the aggressive exterior. I feel like it's a huge upgrade compared to the third gen. The third gen looks nice and they have good color options, but when it comes to the fourth gen, they just made it a lot edgier. It is wider. It looks so much more aggressive. Like the linings of the cars, I don't know, it looks nice, except for the ugly air dam. And I did remove it and I did notice I did lose 1 mile per gallon, but I don't mind. I just don't think it looks the best, but I guess it does serve a purpose. Without it though, it looks so much cleaner in my opinion. And another good thing that I like is the interior. It got a huge upgrade compared to the third gen. Even the dash looks really nice. The whole thing on the passenger side, you can just store your phone on there or whatever you want, wallets, keys, anything that the passenger may be carrying. And I personally am a kind of person who doesn't like having things in their pockets. It feels uncomfortable, so just throwing things on there is super convenient. And I've noticed that the passengers do like that and they often use it. Another good thing is the huge iPad screen. I know someone might say it's overkill, you don't really need that huge of a screen, but it's nice, honestly, having that. Especially when you put maps on there, you don't really have to blink, it's just a big screen on there. And dual climate control is also nice, heated seats. They have air ventilated seats, which I haven't used yet. And the heated steering wheel, I know I did use it. It was kind of cold one of the mornings. It doesn't get the hottest, I'll be honest. Like if I go to the snow or something where I'm really freezing, I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not gonna really warm my hands, I feel. But again, depends where you live. You might care or not care about that feature. Another thing I do like is the moonroof because it does add more light to the cabin. And we also use that at Yosemite. I did open it up. My cousin kind of like went up there and kind of got some wind to her face and stuff. So it does add more of that adventure aspect too. Another really good thing is these seats, which you only get with the premium package. And the reason why I like it is especially if you're gonna go camping and let's just say it starts to rain or someone gets a little wet or whatever, these seats have a little bit of that water resistant material. So it's nice. You're not just draining cloth seats. One thing I liked about this car when I first got it was all the cameras and the sensors. So I'm not used to driving a wide car. So at times I did feel a little, I guess, hesitant because I didn't know if I can fit. And I would utilize the cameras or the sensors will alarm me that I'm getting too close to something. But as I started getting more and more used to the car, the sensors got super annoying. I remember pulling up to my driveway and I guess there was a little bag on the left-hand side or something was there. And then the sensor started going crazy, like almost yelling at me, flaring like the red alert. And I get outside the car and I notice I have a lot of space. Maybe if it was a rock, it is way more concerning. But just doing your daily livability things, sometimes it's super damn annoying. Especially, like I'll tell you one instance, when I go buy coffee, there's like a little flower pot that's sticking out. As then I'm trying to pay, I just hear that stupid sensor go beep, 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 or it just makes a lot of noise. And it's honestly quite annoying. Okay, sounds good, thank you. I know, things are annoying. Now, all the cameras and sensors though, I still do like them. I did go to Purdue Canyon and there was a very steep uphill that we were going over. So when you're steep and you're kind of looking at the sky, I did use the camera view and I'm able to see what's ahead of me. And I thought that was super nice and convenient to have, especially if you don't know if something's gonna be there whenever you're traveling or doing crazy adventures like that. It's really nice to have that feature. So you don't have to have your spotter get out. Or if you don't have a spotter, it's even better, right? Because you don't have to get out the vehicle yourself. You can just continue going confidently. Now, another thing that I do like, and it's a lot of technology with this whole car, is the lane assist. So at first, I think we were on a trip to Yosemite. We took a long trip. I put it in cruise control and I locked it in there. And when we were doing a turn, I just feel my steering wheel move. And I was like, what the heck? That felt really weird. But it's just the car kind of sticking between the lanes. And sometimes it is helpful, but I would still encourage you guys to have your hands on the wheel and everything. But it is kind of crazy when it moves you. It feels unsafe at first until you get used to it. But I think it is a super nice feature. And it also slows down if a car is too close to you. Or if the car ahead of you is slowing down, your vehicle will also slow down. But sometimes, again, I like to give myself more room. If I see something slowing down ahead and my car's still not slowing down, I'll go ahead and apply the brakes. Because sometimes I feel like it'll be very immediate when it does it. And I don't want it to be like that. I don't want to risk hitting another car. So applying the brake on your own assessment is also super important, regardless if that feature or thing is turned on. And kind of staying on the same topic, I'm getting used to having all this new digital technology. And for me, one, the rear view camera, I thought was super weird because it's like a digital one. It's a digital, you could turn it off or on when you get the premium package. And I turned it off for like the first week because I felt so weird having the digital one. I know this is gonna sound silly, but at first I almost felt like I didn't trust it. Like, what the heck, it's a digital monitor. It just felt so odd, honestly. But now I always have it on, especially at night. It's so helpful. Like, I feel like my vision's been getting a little bit worse, and having this allows me to see everything better practically. When I'm driving in the freeway, sometimes I'm looking back at it and I can actually see whatever the person behind me is doing because it illuminates it really well, which is kind of weird, but yeah, that's just, I guess, a fun fact there. And another thing I really like is the 4x4 system. I think the previous gen did have a little bit more clearance, but this car is so damn nice. I've never been off-roading, right? So we activated 4 low, did the whole stabilizer disconnect. We disconnected it, and it's an uphill with ruts. So it was rocking us left and right, and it feels like you're in a boat practically. So you're going left and right, but it's smoothly climbing up like if you're in an escalator. In an escalator. It was the most sickest, addicting, fun feeling, and I can't wait to learn more on how to use the 4x4 system and just taking this car out more, because I don't want it to be one of those mall crawlers and things like that. Like, I really want to experience and get the best out of the Tacoma. The only thing that I didn't like about the 4x4 system, and maybe I just got to get more practice, was activating it and then deactivating it. I felt like we had trouble and it wasn't always the most consistent. Sometimes it took a little longer for us to deactivate it. Other times it was faster. So that was a little weird, but I just got to maybe get more experience and drive time in doing that. Now let's go ahead and talk about the bad things about owning a Tacoma. And honestly, one of the bad things is the cup holders. It's a good thing that we have hella cup holders. It's a bad thing that they fit almost nothing. And another bad thing, it's kind of one of those things that it is what it is. I think this car is rated to get like 24 miles per gallon in the city, yet I've never come close to getting that. Neither has my brother, who also owns this same 4th gen Tacoma, and he also drives in eco mode, and we're averaging like 18 miles per gallon practically. And I don't know if anybody out there who owns one, have you guys got close to 24 or even 22? I'd be shocked. And if so, how? I want to know how. What is the secret? Like, I don't even know if it's possible. So if you are averaging that, how? Please let us know. Now, one thing I guess I don't really like is the bed has this little button. It's nice at first. You click it and it kind of goes down for you. So if you're kind of busy, your hands are kind of full, it's a good feature. But when I parked at work, I reverse parked, and there's like a little brick wall behind me. So I try to reverse as close as I can, kind of close. And then I went upstairs, I went to go work, and then I got a little notification on my phone that my bed thing was down. And I was like, how? How did it go down? Because I did not click that button, didn't do anything. And I go down and I was so scared because I thought my truck probably hit that brick wall. I haven't tested it yet, but I don't know if you park very close to something, that if it'll detect it and just stop from trying to go down, or if it'll continue going down and hit it. I don't know, but thankfully I had enough space that when I went to go check, it was fully down, and I was like, what the heck? And there was a little bit of space that it didn't hit the damn wall. And this was like my first 2 weeks of owning this car, which is crazy. It hasn't happened since, but it does kind of give me a jump scare that it could happen. So whenever I reverse park, I'm giving myself more space because of that incident. Now, one more thing that drives me insane, especially because I paid $61,000 for this car, is that we have a super cheap key fob. Like, come on, mate. Like, my sister's GR86 Premium feels so much luxurious. It has more weight to the key. It's not a plastic ass thing. And I'm sure it has further distance or range. Like this one doesn't have the best range. Sometimes I think about it when I go park at the gym. I was like, wait, did I lock my car? And I have to get super close to the car again to check if it locked. If anybody has any suggestions on any aftermarket updates or upgrades that you guys recommend, please let me know. I still gotta look into that, but I do want to upgrade it because the range sucks. The quality is honestly trash, especially for paying 61K for a car. That's insane. Tacoma or Toyota do better, honestly. So my final thoughts is, yes, I like the Tacoma. Do I recommend it? Yes. Is the 4-cylinder something you should be concerned about? I can't tell you. I guess only time will tell to see how these cars start panning out. But it is a super comfortable ride, even if we get that weird jolting feeling within the first 10 to 15 miles per hour. But I like this car a lot. Like, it's comfortable. I don't have to worry about certain things. It's nice owning a truck. I will say that. And let me know if you guys have any other questions that you guys are concerned about or anything, and I'll go ahead and answer them down below. But it is a car that I do love, and all my homies have loved it that have one, and my brother too. He loves this truck. It's a super nice looking car, honestly. And it's difficult to go with the other ones in the market just because I think this one looks the best. And I just hope it lives up to that Tacoma reputation where it has a good longevity in terms of its lifespan. But we'll see.